this and the next lecture, I will work with maps of data. We'll simply pass map as an input. Let me add some lines so that you can see it better. Public. Let's see what happens if I don't return anything. I am going to use a void return type. Save employee data. We're not really going to save it. We'll just receive the information and use a sysout to print that data and see where that data appears in the logs. Map string, comma, integer, employee data. Do a sysout, emp data. Whatever input we are receiving, we are just printing it. Now to test this, first copy this name, the function name, go to template.aml file, paste it on this get scores. Save employee data is the new lambda function. Go to event.json. To pass in map of data, you simply use the curly braces, JSON braces, within double quotes, the key, John, colon, his salary is say 1, 2, 3, 4, comma, Bharat, his salary is $1 million or more. Save it. Now go to the command line to test this. First, we do a SAM build. Once that finishes, we will do a local invoke by passing the event.json. Let's see the response. This time it will be a little different on the console. See this? Don't be surprised by seeing the null at the end. The response in this case is right here. It's not the response, it is the log. When you do a sysout, this is where it will appear in the CloudWatch logs. The response is null because we have void return type. Typically, when we use asynchronous communication, or if we don't have any response going back, then we use the void type. If you want to quickly test this on the cloud, let's do that for kicks. SAM deploy, that will deploy this guy onto the AWS cloud environment. In the meantime, you can go to services, you can go to Lambda. As that happens, let's see what is going on here. Looks good so far. It is deploying it. You can, once the deployment finishes, we'll open this. We still need the input data. So you can grab this data, you can copy this data from here. And when we create a test on the console here, we'll need that. Let's wait for the resources to be created. Almost done. There we go. So it has finished deploying the Lambda function. If we refresh that guy, click on the Lambda, see that 22 seconds ago, open that Lambda function. Once it is loaded, click on the test button here. We have to change the data. Before we click on the button, go to configure tests and get rid of this data. Bharat, paste the data you have copied from event.json, save it, test. It finishes successfully. You should see the same output. See this? Response is null, and down here in the logs, you see the data. So the same thing, you have seen this earlier on your local machine. Let's run that local invocation again. And we got the same thing back here. Only thing is on the UI here, this response is up top and then the logs are at the end. Here we have the logs up top and then the response at the end.